compound interest, Mr. Kern. So we're going to be talking about compound interest this time, and the interest is going to compound more than just annually. It's specifically compound semi-annually, quarterly, and monthly. Um, and what you're going to find out is that for different reasons, interest is compounded differently. Example, like a credit card may compound your interests monthly, where a loan or an investment may compound it quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. So let's get a few notes down and up into the formula below. I got 3 examples we're going to go over, and there's 3 practice questions for you in the classroom. Let's start out here. Interest can be compounded more often than just once per year, which we already did, which was annually. For example, like I said, credit card companies compound your interest each month that you don't pay your bill in full. If you pay it off the first month, no interest, that's the proper way to use a credit card. If interest is compounded monthly, it's 12 times per year. Quarterly is 4 times per year, and semi-annual is 2 times per year. When we compound more often, we have to change our formula. So what you're going to see is our new formula for compounding differently than annual. Okay, a couple of things. R still represents the rate. P still represents the principal. And T is the time. N is going to equal the number of times compound. N is going to be seen twice, so it's in 2 spots. Okay, so I'm going to erase that just so that you can see it clearly as you go back to it, but there for you to kind of see for a second. N represents the number of times you're compounding. Okay, got a little note says before your calculator, simplify the fraction r over n and end out to just one number. I will say this, that I typically just this portion. I leave the fraction as, and I just simply put, instead of the ABC button, I use the divide button when it comes time for the fraction. And to simplify down, and I'll show you what I mean by that in our. So we have example 1 here. We have Kelly plans to put graduation money into an account and leave it there for 4 years while she goes to college. She receives $150 in graduation money that she put into an account at 0.2% interest, compounded in her account at the end of 4 years. So the first thing I do is I go back and I label stuff. Okay, so she's going to receive 50. That's my P. She's going to leave it there for 4 years. That's my T. All right, going to earn 4.25 interest. That's my R, and it's going to compound semi-annually. That's my N. Okay, specifically the semi-annually part. Now we just need to take those, plop them into our formula up above, and figure out how much she's going to have. What you're going to see is we're going to need to use our calculator. I've downloaded a calculator I put it in the classroom that will allow you to use the parentheses. It's basically the calculator we use in the room, and there's a link in our classroom for you to download it if you don't have the actual calculator already. So we start with our formula, MP parenthesis 1 plus R over N, close the parentheses, raised to N. Okay. Now, let's put that actually in. So M equals 750 was our P, parentheses, 1 plus our R was 4.25% converted to a decimal, 0.425 over N semi-annually. If you go back up to the top, semi-annually up here 2 times per year. So I put my 2 here, close my thing, my parentheses. Now, NT, well, N is the number of times it compounds. So it compounds twice, semi-annually, and T was for 4 years. So 4 years. Now back to where I said I simplify. I simply come back up here and I cross this because I'm going to simplify that. So 2 times 4 is 8. So I'm just going to cross that out, and when I use the calculator, I'm going to put in 8 instead of 2 times 4 in the exponent. Now that I've done that, I'm ready to put this in a calculator and see what it gives me. So I'm going to bring up my calculator, clear, and I'm going to go 750 parenthesis 1 plus 0.0425 divided by 2, close the parentheses, carry it to 8 now, and my answer is $887.40 if I round to the nearest penny. So answer equals, I'm going to do it again, 87.40. 87.40. Right. Hopefully you understood that, and the calculator helped showing you. So let's go right on to question number 2. ABC is offering to double your money. They say if you invest with them at 6% interest compounded quarterly for 10 years, they will double your money. So if you invest $1,500 in the account, will it double in 10 years? We're going to have to do, but compounding quarterly times, okay? So let's just R P P compounded quarterly N, which is going to be 4. Let's take our formula. M equals 1 plus R over N, close that, raised to NT. M equals 1,500, parenthesis, 1 plus, where's our interest? 0.06, because 6% converted to a decimal, over the number of is compounded quarterly, which is 4. Close that, and then remember up here is T. Our N was 4. Our T is 10. Again, I'm going to come up and I'm going to simplify this. That just becomes 40. And now I have the problem I can put in the calculator. So I clear my previous one. I go 1,500 parentheses 1 plus 0.06 divided by 4. Close the parentheses. Carry it to 40. Enter. 2,721.03 by round correctly. So answer equals 2,721.03. 2,721.3. All right, and we'll do one more, and I'll have some questions in the classroom. So bring that back down. All right, so let's identify stuff here. Compounding monthly, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be 12 times. So you open up a credit card and ran out 2,360 or to pay. Second bill and not pay it. There's an interest rate 22% that is compounded monthly. How much will the credit card company at the end of 1 year? This is not good. All right, pay your bill when it comes. Let's identify. We have our P. We have our R. Counted monthly. That is our N, which is going to be 12. And our T, 1 year. So go back to formula. Our P again was 1,360. Parenthesis 0.22% is just 2 over N, which is going to be 12 because it's compounding monthly. Our NT up here is going to be 12. 1. I'm just going to simplify that. 12 times 1 is 12. Later, bring up my calculator, move it a little bit so we can see the problem. Hit clear. I'm going to go 2360 parenthesis 1 plus 0.22 divided by 12. Close it. See up kit to 12. Enter. My answer is going to be 2,934.89. Remember, I'll need the nearest penny here. So keep doing that. Answer equals, bring it back up, 2,934.89. 2,094.89. All right, you guys are going to go on and you guys are going to answer the question here in the notes and for you do this and submit class. So hopefully this video helps, and if you have any questions, shoot me an email. All right, have a good one, guys.